Welcome everyone to a casted game for Age of Empires 4. And today, spawning in the southwest corner of the map, playing in blue, we've got Beastyqt playing as the English. And battling out against them today, spawning in the northeast in red, we've got May. And of course, he's playing as the Delhi Sultanate. Welcome everyone to Gorge. As always, hope you're having a great morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And we're seeing a lot of the Delhi. We're seeing a lot of this map called Gorge as well, but I'm kind of curious to see how Beasty decides to deal with this situation at hand. And the situation is the Delhi. They're an incredibly strong civilization at the moment. They've got a powerhouse unit in the form of the elephant. Of course, you have to get to that unit, but it's not always that difficult because they do have a incredibly strong ability to make units very fast here, the Delhi. They've got the efficient production upgrade that is being researched for free, garrison a scholar inside a production building, and it boosts the production speed by 100%. It's incredibly powerful for the Delhi to get plenty of units out on the map very quickly. Then you have to wonder, well, how do you punish the Delhi? The Delhi making plenty of units, they should be able to make enough to defend themselves, to get to the castle age, make those elephants, and start to cause a little bit of havoc. Well, there's a couple of ways. The English is going to be a tricky matchup. They can potentially go for the council hall with longbows. I'm not convinced it's a good idea against the Delhi because the Delhi almost always open up with Ghazi raiders. And so longbows, you have to have a large mass of them to really pose a threat to be able to move out. But the time you do that, the Delhi have likely have taken all the sacred sites and would potentially be on the way to the castle age. So it feels like in this matchup, the only real viable landmark has got to be the Abbey of the Kings. You get the king out, you get a bit of mobility, and maybe that's the way that Beasty decides to deal with this problem today. The gold is forward, which is not necessarily a big problem here for the Delhi. Don't really need to rely on this, or even if they do, they've often got a lot of units to be able to protect that area. Now the English have often gone for a second town centre. That could still be an option on the cards here, but it makes it a little bit tricky, right? Because you go second town centre, it means you've got less units. That means you can put less pressure on the map, and it will indeed be a second town centre here for Beasty. This is kind of curious. You're going to see the game evolving in terms of I guess the push and pull of it all, in the fact that the Delhi will likely stay one town centre, make plenty of units. The English will have to be a bit defensive early on, just buy some time, and it's really going to be about Beasty being able to make his economy pay for itself back, and then be able to push out back later on in the game, once the economy can be translated into a stronger military. Now I'm focusing on the deer camp at the moment because this is a potential location for the second town centre. It's a bit far out, it could be a bit precarious for the English. Another option is to place it a bit closer to home and take advantage of farms. The only issue is that, of course, whilst the English do like to go for farms, it's a double whammy, right? You're going for a second town centre and then you're needing a farming transition as well. That would really massively delay your army. So I wouldn't be surprised if BC does go for the deer camp here next to the woodline. Potentially could go further out, but it's super risky, right? Leaves it very prone to be attacked and it could cause problems. But this could be a nice spot as well. That will be the Dome of the Faith landmark. No real surprises here for the Delhi Sultanate. Getting plenty of scholars early, rather. They'll be able to increase the research speed of the technologies and look to get those sacred sites. It will be the Abbey of the Kings here for the English. Get the king out. Probably protect the location for the second town centre. I am kind of curious as a decision point here where the Beastie decides to place the second town centre closest to home. It's a bit safer, but he would need a farming transition for food. The other alternative, of course, is to go for deer camp, a bit further up, a bit more exposed, but then he delays the farming transition, means he can afford more units a lot faster. The question is then, what units does he go with to accompany his king? Well, we'll find out soon enough. What I would like to say, though, is a very big thank you for everyone who's been supporting the channel, whether it be on Twitch or YouTube. You guys are absolute legends. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been really enjoying the content recently, and Age of Empires 4, it's just getting better and better. Of course, this recent patch has been a bit rocky with the siege reworks, but, things will settle. In fact, the developers have put out a message to say that they will be making changes soon to basically give a bit of a better counter against the English, against the Delhi elephants. I'm so used to people complaining about the powerhouse of the English that I kind of almost just had that civilization in mind, but stable opening here for the Delhi, no real surprises there. Yeah, and then I hope you guys have been enjoying the content as well. If you have, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. More importantly, hit that notification bell because I'll be uploading maybe every 2 to 3 days, just the very best cast that I get to cast. And that way you know that it's going to be a good game when you watch it. Or at least there's going to be something interesting to talk about, or at least strategically something important's happening in terms of the meta of the game. Yeah, it's definitely going for the deer camp now. It's a nice spot. I love the fact that the deer are behind this town centre, really. It'd be hard for the Delhi to punish that, and ultimately, diving in with Ghazi raiders is not all that viable. He's going to need a large army to really punish this. The real question is whether Beastyqt can make this pay for itself. Is he going to be under pressure? Is he going to be able to build up a strong economy before getting, bamboozled by probably a castle age Delhi? Not built the lumber camp yet. Doesn't quite have enough wood for it. I'm kind of curious to see, because usually you can afford the second town centre and a lumber camp with the stragglers. It is what it is. Maybe he deleted something. I think he may have... Did he delete one? No, it doesn't feel like it. Anyway, not too sure what's happened there. What we do know is the king is out, and so are the Ghazi raiders. This is where it becomes a bit fascinating for the English, because you might be wondering, well, if he goes longbows, he's under pressure. It feels like he's got to go for spearmen or cavalry himself. And the great thing about going for cavalry himself here, Beasty, as the English, he's got the Abbey of Kings to heal up with. So it comes down to micro and being able to bring these units back, which are, kind of trading HP. Could be a big part of the way that Beasty tries to hold off the Delhi. But bear in mind, of course, whilst the English do have the Abbey of the Kings, the Delhi Sultanate can just pull out the scholars and heal up with them. It's always an option that they have as well. Plenty of villages on food. The real question is, well, when do either of the players think about going to the castle age? We're way off it for now. Looks like it's going to be a pretty heavy investment into feudal age. That villager's a little bit exposed there for Beasty. Charges with the Ghazi raiders, but should garrison inside the town centre. Oh, it doesn't bother in the end. He wants to keep on gathering that food. Understandably so. It can be a bit of a bait, actually garrisoning town centres if you are not going to confirm a kill, because, this Ghazi raid just returns back to heal on up. But you've idled a lot of your economy to do that. And it will indeed be a double stable opening here for Beasty. Not something you often see. He's going to lose a scout here, May, unfortunately for him. So we'll have to either remake that or play blind. But certainly interesting. Going to look to make horsemen, which don't, 1v1, they don't match up too well against the Ghazis, but Beasty is going to trust on his micro and make sure that he tries to keep his enemy as far away from his base as possible. But I like it. And the big reason why is not necessarily that Beasty is going to engage on a head-on battle. He's unlikely to. But the benefit of having cavalry like this, it forces May to think twice about moving out. If Beasty can try and get some raids around the back, force May to stay a bit more defensive, push him away from the map a little bit, push him away from the second town centre, that allows Beasty's economy to really build up, to a point where eventually, if he can delay the Delhi long enough, that economy really could translate into a big army. And that could be his way to win the game. Just going to pull that king back and look to heal on up. And also the horseman, you see he's trading HP, but it's more about really delaying things. He's delayed it until he managed to get an outpost for the gold miners. Yes, really the name of the game here, but you can see the military count number here for the Delhi. It's just so strong. 18 to 6. It's so good at pumping out units quickly. Fighting underneath the Abbey of the Kings is probably not ideal, but 3 sacred sites in control for the Delhi is going to be great for their economy. He's behind the villagers, but having those sacred sites certainly help. It's a triple stable here for Beasty. It's going to be pumping out those horsemen. It's going full cavalry. Kind of surprising. I'm kind of curious to see when either player will go for spearmen. There's always an option for them. And we talk about 4 stables. That's what essentially the Delhi have now as well, with the scholars garrison inside these 2 stables. So 4 stables apiece. The big difference, of course, is that there are 3 sacred sites in play, which are kind of being challenged for the Delhi. But then we have the second town centre for the English. Who's going to engage here? Probably needs to pull those weak horsemen back. King might be... Yeah, the king's got surrounded. Unfortunately, will go down. But Beasty, he's buying time. That's the real strategy here behind all of this. Just to buy time. As much as possible. I'm kind of curious to think about when May might think about stopping Ghazi production and go to the castle age. Looking to get blacksmith as well. Likely for some melee armor. Going to dive in on... The villagers need to back away. He's going to lose a villager. First blood comes on in. It is for the Delhi. Yeah, sacred sites still very much under control for the Delhi. Manages to get a unit there for free. Slowly but surely, May's unit numbers are starting to climb such that he is starting to put a bit more pressure on the map. He's got good control. Might look to try and siege this town centre down, but without actually having any rams could be a bit tricky. Not sure if you really want to dive this, even with this number of Ghazi Raiders, because the horseman coming into play peels back the weak horseman. Should look to heal out up. Yeah, you can see he's pulling that back here, Beastie. Look to try and micro things as best as possible. So it really comes down to the ability to outright kill units and stop them from going back from healing. But mate, actually being pushed back, would you believe? He's going to take the fight now, it looks like. He's backing away now. Still a good fight here, I think, for May, if he takes it. Decides not to. A couple more horsemen coming into the fight. We should have better numbers. He does, but his army kind of split into two, so kind of suboptimal engagements here for May. Does have a couple of weak guys ready, which Beastie might look to try and target. It's quite kind of stuck in the middle of the pack there. He does lose one in the end. Around the back, you can see Beastie looking to try and raid and try and force May to peel some units back. Well, look, he's being a bit cautious about it, right? He's making him think twice. In the meantime, Beastie's building a very healthy villager lead. Certainly looks like, though, the Delhi will be opting for the castle age soon. Plenty of gold. He's been mining gold with 2 villagers, but 3 sacred sites certainly helping. He's managed to reset the sacred site timer. Bit of a mistake there for May, you feel, because, you know, it can't be underestimated the potential to have the sacred site win condition, especially if you go into the castle age first as the Delhi. Makes it a bit difficult for things to push back. But he's lost it. He's lost the sacred site timing. He would have to reset that if he wants to take advantage of that once again. He might get a village kill, though. No, he reacts to it in the end. May is still losing a couple of Ghazi Raiders here and there around the town centre. Villagers are escaping. Onto the berries instead. It looks like Beastie might be thinking about giving that position up. We shall see if he's punished or not for the second town centre. But 17 villagers ahead is certainly helpful. He's got a lot of Ghazi Raiders. This is not really a fight that Beastie can take. He is taking it, though. He's lost 2 horsemen. He's going to lose a third, most likely. We shall see. A couple of spearmen, though. That could be the game-changing position here. Those spearmen could decimate those Ghazis and may not want to engage in that just yet. What if he's going to get... I mean, he's got to be going for man at arms, right? Surely. Because now that he sees a spearman, we'd be expecting to see a couple of barracks being dropped. Is actually adding another stable? There it is. There's the barracks. So the stable could be for knights. That could be an option for him. Lancers. Barracks, I guess, could be for man at arms himself. But yeah, kind of curious decision to add in the third stable. Because he's already got essentially 4. Because of the scholars inside the other 2. But he's almost up there. House of Learning is the landmark of choice. Going to go for the technologies. Probably going to go for honed blades, I would have thought, for the Lancers. 3 sacred sites have been capped, so he's setting off the timer once again. I think Beastie's not... I mean, he's just struggling on gold, right? But he's got plenty of villagers on gold now. The problem for May is that he's not challenging this, really. He needs to be here challenging this. This is a subtle problem. It's a small problem. It seems like a small problem. Actually, in the grand scheme of the game, it's huge because Beastie is going to get to the castle age when in reality, that gold could have been put under pressure. And it should have been put under pressure. The issue is that this spearman, that's really what's done it for him. That's what's pushed the Ghazi Raiders back. Adding in Lancers here is really a bit awkward, right? Because the spearmen already counter them. Sure, it's still castle age units versus feudal age units, but they work pretty well. Always bracing against this, and May's going to take the fight, but it's looking a bit rough. I mean, these still are feudal age Ghazi Raiders. He's going to take the fight and probably clear out these spearmen, but it's going to be trading well here for Beastie. I don't think he minds that all that much, actually, as it happens. Could have been a lot worse, but he's definitely traded well. Wallow coming up. He's going to try and pick up as many of the relics. Already 1 in the bag, 2 more on the way. Well, he's potentially on the way. But yeah, May's kind of in an awkward spot. Go for cavalry units. He has added a couple of his own spearmen, as it happens. A man-at-arm or 2 as well. Kind of curious to see where the placement is for the White Tower. Surely defensive on the gold, yeah. Because that's really what Beast needs to do. I mean, this is the position that could have been challenged here by May. And if it was, that would have caused a lot of problem. King does go down, and that's a fight that certainly May will win. But for Beastie, it's all about delaying things. He's got a really healthy villager lead. And he's got a really stronghold position on that gold. A good 2,200 gold left, so plenty to work with here, Beastie. It almost looks like May's looking to play a bit of a mid to late game situation. Maybe missed an opportunity to challenge the gold. Adding in a couple of archery rangers. Could potentially think about going for some crossbows here, Beastie. A bit of a switch away from horsemen could be the right play. Spearmen and crossbows could be working pretty nice for him, although it looks like he is getting the man-at-arms upgrade as well. Which is a bit of an awkward one. Going up against Lancers. Probably not the most ideal approach. Overall, picked up 2 relics so far, 2 more on the way. Another relic down in the south, being patrolled by horsemen here for Beastie. The sacred sites have been decapped again. That kind of loses that potential win condition. That's a lot of farms. In fact, let's take a look at the Delhi farming situation. It's pretty much non-existent. So this is going to be a really good position here for Beastie because he's got the transition underway. It means from here on out, he's just going to be pumping out army. The Delhi, on the other hand, may have a bit of a hiccup on the road because they will need to start seeding farms eventually once this food has run out. There's a decent amount of berries, a decent amount of deer camp, but that will run out eventually in the next 5-10 minutes. By then, Beastie will have a really strong army. It's got a great economy. It's already fully transitioned to farms. Very sustainable source of food. May, whilst he does have the military lead, that's probably going to be short-lived. Beastie in a good spot. It's going to try and challenge this town centre. Probably won't get it in the end with the number of spearmen there. I think the win condition surely has to be the sacred sites. He hasn't got all 3 just yet. This one's still not capped. I think Beastie recognizing that most of the economy for the Delhi are up in the north. It looks like it's going to send a couple of units to challenge. Force the Delhi to send a reaction army as well. It's a lot of spearmen. Yep, spearmen, crossbow. That's the army composition of choice here for Beastie. A couple of lancers round the back for May, looking to raid. I'm sure the spearmen and crossbows will get in position. We'll lose a couple of villagers here, Beastie, but not the end of the world. He can try and get a couple of kills himself, actually, as it happens. It should be cleared up, though, by May. Good number of units here to protect. So does Beastie back at home. That's a lot of spearmen. And the army composition just seems a little bit awkward here. And the really hard thing for May is that he's going to go for some archers, which could leave him really open to a big man-at-arms switch for the English, which is exactly what they want to do in the late game. It's a unit they absolutely love to get. And going up against archers, you'd love to make those man-at-arms. Yeah, and the veteran archers there. So equal military numbers, but very unequal economy numbers. Setting off the sacred site timer once again here, May. Now, you might be wondering in the grand context of this matchup and the players themselves, actually Beastie had some trouble against the Delhi from May a little bit earlier in the season. Of course, players are now starting to figure out how to play against the Delhi, and maybe this is the way. Beastie showing that triple stable opening for the English could be pretty strong. Of course, we feel like maybe May did make some mistakes not challenging the gold, but some interesting concepts to talk about in terms of how to stop the Delhi getting so cleanly to the next stage into the powerhouse units. And in fact, I don't think we see an elephant just yet. Not really invested in it. On the back, a bit of a raid, but those 2 lancers get taken out pretty quickly with those spearmen. Beastie now moving to the west side of the map. Looks like actually a lot of the resources are on the west side in terms of gold. Beastie's 8,000 gold vein, and well, it looks like the food is very much in the north here for the Delhi. Spearman about to chase on down. Should get a couple of the lancers free. Good number of ranged units though for May. Trying to whittle down those numbers of spearmen, but it can't get too close. It could be chased down here potentially. He's got the network of castles bonus on these ranged units, so definitely will be a great fight for Beastie if he takes it. And there's the first of maybe a few elephants. A tower elephant on the field. Oh, a couple of spearmen poking and prodding. Villagers getting their shivs out, need to fight that back. Now bear in mind, going the House of Learning means that Compound of the Defender wasn't chosen. Means no cheaper, essentially, keep town centers combination. There's a lot of spearmen. He can't fight that easily. The elephant going to die really quickly. Just the mass number of spearmen absolutely decimating that elephant. And a couple of cavalry trying to get around the back. I think just way too many numbers, right? The guards are just trying to get on top of the crossbows. Another tower elephant does approach. And I think it looks like maybe May might be able to clear this up. He needs to take out the spearman numbers if he can. That tower elephant needs to survive if you're the Delhi. And it probably will, it seems. Does lose the king here. I think the king... Oh, he loses the tower elephant. That's pretty huge. A big unit to lose. He's lost 2 so far. Behind this, Beastie has managed to wall up. So took a... I mean, in some ways it might seem like a bad fight because he lost the fight overall. But you've got to think about the bigger picture. Beastie's walled up behind this. It means that the Deadly can't push in too easily. It gives Beastie time to recuperate, recover, and reset with a bigger army, because he knows he's ahead in economy, right? So he can afford to take trades. But the big thing is it's forced May away from his economy. And in the meantime, his economy continues to grow, and it's going to grow to a position where it's going to be unbeatable. Going to be grouping up down in the middle. A couple of scholars healing on up. They're going to be walling up here with a lot of archers here, mate. And certainly one of the big problems has got to be that May has not been able to hold on to the sacred sites. So whilst there's a good bit of gold income, that's all it's really been. It's never been a really convincing win condition for him in this game. And I think that's a big problem that he's faced. I think as the Delhi, you really want to push that issue as that being a potential win condition. He's going to lose the Lancer. And we've seen May do this time and time again. They send a couple of infantry units, wall around the gold, make it a bit of a pain situation for your enemy to gather that gold. But it looks like it might be go time here for Beastie. Has in a mangonel, spearmen, longbows, man-at-arms, crossbows, a little bit of everything. And the decaps the central sacred site, and it looks like maybe we're heading to a position where in this match, the economy for Beastie is actually going to be able to be translated into a big army. That big army is making its way down the middle, is extending the network of castles bonus. By now, should be network of citadels. No, not quite yet. Doesn't have that in play. Guys, he's going to try and get around the right side. Mangonel's deployed with a massive shot on those archers. They said they nerfed them, but when they hit, they still hit hard. A massive Manga shot. Again, May is losing a lot of units to these Mangonels. Now it goes on spread formation, but you feel like it's a little bit too little too late. And Beastie, man, he took some big shots there. Another good shot from two Mangonels. And the problem for May is not being able to get on top of those Mangonels, right? Cavalry is the way, but it can't get through the spearman line. And Beastie took a great fight there. Look at the number of dead bodies in the middle of the map. This is a really good staging ground for him as well to push on through. Almost at population capacity. Cannot say the same for May. Tries to go for a Wallow. Is going to push the army back in from Beastie, but not too far because he's got his Mangonels. Another good Mangonel shot from Beastie. Two of them is posing a bit of a problem. Cavalry is charging on him, but there's a good number of spearmen there for Beastie. The ranged units meaning that the cavalry, when they do retreat, some of them still lose their lives. And the arm's going to charge on through, and this is looking a bit problematic for May. And think about the situation in terms of food. His food income is okay. He's got the farming transition on the right side. There it is. But you can see that's really halted his army production. Bit of raid around the back. Just one man-at-arm, so eventually will be taken out. Beastie setting up shop right down in the middle of the map, and we could see a big fight here. This could be the final fight in the game, I've got to say, because if May doesn't hold this, it will be game over. He's trying to get back into the zone. I think he needs one more outpost just to extend the network of castles. Beastie doesn't want to fight without it, really. May doesn't want to fight him when he's got it, either. Sending a bit of cavalry around the left side. You can see he's just trying to flank, right? He wants those Mangonels. He wants to try and catch Beastie off guard, but the Mangonels are right in the middle of the army. He's slowly pushing back. Massive Mangonel shot on those archers around the top. And he's just going to torch things down. A couple of cavalry around in the back. Trying to get a keep in a forward position. Might go up in the end. But the crossbow's in good position. Wallow comes out. Oh, this could be problematic for Beastie. He's got to get out of there. It's going to be close. He's not going to... He just about gets out of there. But the problem is, those Mangonels still survive. That's the big issue. Two Mangonels shots are massive again. Absolutely decimating a lot of those archers. There is a tower elephant adding to the fight, but he's got to get rid of the Mangonels here, May. They said they nerfed them, but apparently they are still as good as they once were when they hit. And they have been hitting all day here for Beastie. That forward keep can't be stopped, surely now. It's going to go up, and May's down to 34 military. This is the big fight that Beastie needed, and he's winning it massively. And so much of the fight was dictated by the Mangonels. Nerf Springles, they said. It'll be fine, they said. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this casted game on YouTube, and if you did, make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Take care, and see you next time.